right, we back with AJ, Officer Coordinator, Miami Central. 8 state titles, been there 9 times. I don't think nobody's gonna stop y'all, bro. That's just gonna keep rolling at this point. Listen, a couple years back, Caroll City had a team that jumped out maybe 5-0, 6-0.
Beat South Ridge like 72-0.
Yes, I got there late, and they was up 28-0 like in the first quarter or second quarter, something against South Ridge, and with Coach Rose, Officer Coordinator, they had the guy at the University of Miami now was the head coach. Hippolyte was the head coach, and they were rolling. And I had seen enough football. I get to go to Central practice. I could walk in most practices at any time with Footballville and watch them practice. But on the field, Caroll City was rolling. They were in sync at a point at the beginning of the season. They came out in sync, and they had a continuity that I didn't see a lot of times in football, in the high school football. And I started saying, because I said beginning of the season, I said, listen, I'm gonna be more vocal this year. I'm gonna be more vocal. I'm gonna be Darryl Streeter from Footballville, and I'm gonna say what I feel, because I never would pick a side, rank teams. So I came out after they beat South Ridge and said, this Miami Caroll City team may go down as one of the best teams we've ever saw in South Florida. And at that time, they were smacking people in the mouth. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were smacking people in the mouth. And people looked at me crazy. I remember your quarterback dad said something crazy to me, but that just was a fan of him. But nobody really wanted to come out and say what they were going to do to that Caroll City team at the time, right. Because they were killing people. Y'all played them. I think they beat y'all by maybe 2 touchdowns the first time. Yeah. And then in one of them rivalry games, but they kind of controlled the game and they won by 2 touchdowns. Then the playoffs come around, and I started seeing that they were tailing off at the end. They wasn't as crisp at the end of the season, but I couldn't take my words back. You know what I'm saying? Central comes in, and the running back rushes for 576 yards. What did y'all see? Was this something you saw that you can exploit with them, or it just was a good night for the kid that went off for flex?
No, we saw it. We saw it in the first game.
Yeah.
But I'm also one of them coaches. If I know I gotta play you twice,
right,
I save some of it now. I ain't gonna give you the whole recipe.
It's not that hard to take a loss. Like Central, you got Central, Northwestern. Man, it's hard to take losses in these communities. So, but you're saying that we'll win when it counts.
Right, you want to win. You playing the game to win.
But you playing it like.
But you also playing conservative because
right.
You got to play this team twice. Even if I was winning, I'm gonna go in and say I'm going to win doing this. But in the process of doing that, I'm also evaluating to see what I'm going to be able to do the next time I play.
Listen, youth football coaches, right, have a problem. These mugs try to win scrimmages. They try to win jamborees. Right. And it's not conducive for a season and in the age where everybody has a camera.
Right.
And that's what I try to explain to coaches. I remember people would get on me about Footballville selling people film and yada, yada, yada. And I would tell them, listen, man, we in the age of cell phones have cameras. Right, if you cannot coach with your team being recorded, you might as well just stop coaching. If you're worried about somebody recording your team and taking the film back and evaluating the film, then you might as well just stop coaching.
If you're recording a game,
right.
Like, now practice is different.
Right.
But if you're recording a game,
they
might as well not even try to coach high school. Because high school is required that you have to exchange your last 2 films.
But youth football coaches used to get, like Pop Warner coaches would always think Footballville was selling film. It was crazy. But I kind of like schooled them. Only the good Rob didn't care about people recording them. Because only the good coaches.
He's used to having to exchange film.
Right. He didn't care about people recording him. But I used to tell coaches, if you're worried about somebody having your film, then you're done. Like, we're in the age where somebody can stand in the stands and record your game.
Listen, they go play Facebook Live.
Now it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
If you're worried now, you're done.
Your game end up on YouTube before you get home.
Right. So, and this was before it was like it is now. I mean, So what he just said was, listen, the Clemson effect. Clemson put their backup quarterback in this year.
Right.
Was like, listen, we're going to play Notre Dame. We win, we lose, we lose. We're going to get them when they count.
Right.
Most coaches don't have the composure, especially I'm talking about on the lower levels.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
To say what you just said. It's not all about winning. Explain that balance, because you're saying it's not always about winning now.
Because you got to understand this. If I'm 9-1, what's the difference between 8-2? As long as I win my division.
Right.
9-1, 8-2, you still not undefeated.
Right.
So who's gonna remember? Oh, they was 16-1. Nobody cares. They remember you won the state championship.
Right.
But nobody remember you was 16-1.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like right now, if I tell you, okay, in 2007, what was Northwestern record? You gotta sit and think about it. But you know they won the state championship.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you have to be, like, as a coach, if you know you got to play a team twice.
Right.
First of all, if I'm playing you, I'm studying you, regardless.
Right.
Now I get to see you up live and up close in person, on the field, game day. You at your best. I'm evaluating you again. But I'm evaluating you from a different standpoint now. Because this is you playing me, and I get to see you at your best. So I look at that and I say, okay, that's cool. I go home, I break down the film again. Okay, what did I do? Did I do any of my tendencies that I normally have? How were they successful against me? Figure it out. Okay, cool, all right, I gotta play you again. Now I know my tendencies. And if you were successful doing something, I know you pretty much gonna do that again.
Do it again.
Because you were successful with it. So with me, I'm like, okay, that's cool.
See, that's the rope-a-dope counter. Like, see, but you got to be a thinker to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta think out the box.
Yeah, a lot of people can't. Yeah, I would tell coaches that. I would be like, listen, man, but think about this. They got your game. You know which game they have. I mean, a lot of coaches go to Pop Warner. They will record their regional game. I say, you know what game they have. They're coming from D.C., so whatever they saw, they think that's what you are.
Right.
Just not be that. Don't be that. Like when you get to them.
But you could do what you do and just morph it into something else.
Right.
Like you could make it be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, okay, so, for example, we normally a spread team. We spread you out. We do different things. But when I had all the running backs, I had James Cook, Willie, Flex, I had all three of them, at one time. We go to Bishop Gorman. I line up in what they call a diamond formation. Two running backs on the side of the quarterback, one in pistol. Normally, people would do that under the center.
Right.
I got a shotgun. Okay, cool. So I'm doing it from shotgun because I'm a shotgun team.
Right.
I don't want to change offense. I'm going to be who I am, but I don't really want to change offense. So then everybody like, well, why would you do that? I'm like, because it gave you a different look. I ran the same plays I normally ran.
But it just gave you a different look.
I just gave you a different look. I had 3 running backs. It didn't change. Like, it didn't change offensively, the blocking scheme.
Yeah.
None of that changed. The only thing changed was I took 2 receivers from outside and put back there and put them running backs there.
Right. And that's what Rob said. That's what Rob from Liberty City, he he had 2-2 and
Right.
That's what he said. He said, listen, man, I can run the same play from 5 different formations.
Yeah, it don't change.
Right. But I don't know if it's laziness on some coaches' behalf. They just don't want to change. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but we get into it about that all the time. So listen, you've coached a couple great players, man. I'm gonna throw out some names. How good is T2? You had him all this year. He was on the other side, going against your offense. How good is he?
I was happy he was over there with us. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's a headache. Hey man, listen. It's certain kids that just have that it factor. He's one of those kids. He's one of those kids. He can play on Sunday. The sky the limit.
Yeah.
To be honest, because he's fast, strong. But what I think a lot of people would take for granted is that FBI, that football intelligence.
Yeah.
That smart kid. When it comes to football, like I just watched him in the All-Star game, the Florida-Georgia game. It was 3rd and 1. And he was telling the defensive end, squeeze down. You split too wide. They had the defensive end wide 9. And he was trying to realign the defensive end because he knew, like, yo, this is a rundown.
They finna come,
They gonna run. Cover me up. Let me go make a play.
Right.
take on this tackle. Don't let the tackle just come off on me free.
Right.
The defense end didn't move. Tackle came off free. They got 1 yard.
Yeah.
You know, but those are the things that you like. Those kind of players, you don't coach that. That's the FBI, that football intelligence. You know what I mean? Like that's important.
Right.
You know, because that's an on the field coach. Like he gonna line everybody up right.
Right.
Who don't want that as a coach?
It comes from experience, right? It comes from effort. That comes from just being able to think in. I was a point guard. I had to think when I played basketball.
Right.
But I realized out of the 5, maybe 3 of them weren't thinking at all.
They just
I had to think for them.
Tell them what to do.
They played off instincts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's something that he had. That's just something that's in him, or take studying, or what?
I think he watches a lot of football.
Yeah.
I think he watches a lot of football. Well, I know he do.
Yeah.
Because he can come to practice. Like we run a scout team defense, and he'll tell us, "Hey, coach, that end doing da da da." So you watch their defense?
Right.
Yeah, coach. Man, he'll tell the guy that's running the scout team for us how to line up. And I'm like, that's a plus.
Right.
You know, like that's like, yo, I don't know if that's just a guy that want to win or just a guy that just like watching football.
Right. And all kids aren't like that.
No, you got to curse them out to watch the film on him. It's like, yo, they always want niggas highlight
Watch their own film.
Yeah, like, yo, did you see what you did on play 2? Nah, coach, I just tagged my highlight.
What?
Like, you know, but
I said that y'all 3 linebackers may have been the best 3 linebackers Central have ever had on paper. Some people got bent out of shape by that. And I was just like, well, no. I said in South Florida, they may be the best trio that we've seen together. And people got bent out of shape. But I was like, well, give me the trio. Y'all 3 linebackers, man. You think it's possible? What I said? Any truth to what I said?
the last linebacker core that I seen match up to that would be close, that I know, with all 3 guys.
All 3 guys. See, that was the problem. I was saying all 3.
Most people only have, we'd have had some linebackers in the past.
You may have 2, you know what I'm saying?
But when you talking about all 3 guys that can play, the last 3 will be Sean Spence, Levante Taylor, and Quavon.
That's the closest I saw.
Yeah, Levante David and Quavon Taylor. That's the last 3.
That's the closest I saw. I was a CO, man, and one night this kid was asking me for water at work, big kid, and I just treat him like any other inmate, because as a CO you become numb to.
Yeah.
You get punched in the face enough time, or throw enough piss on you, you become numb to the person in orange, who they are. Somebody walked up to me and they was like, man, you know who that is? I was like, no. He was like, he played with Jacory. Like, who? He was like, man, that's Quavon Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The linebacker. I was like, what? And he was in there went to USF, he was in there for something. You know what I'm saying? But I saw that man sit there, get out of jail, go up to Tuskegee, get back on the football field. I mean, it was like, and it was something amazing after seeing him sitting in that cell for like a year, 2 years, however it was, and to get back in football, man, that was amazing. That was amazing. So we did the linebackers, we did T2. How good was Jeffrey Godfrey?
Jeff was another one of them kids that was, for me, his athletic ability, we knew what he could do athletic-wise, but the cerebral part was what sets him apart. Like, even now, I think he made a great OC. Cerebrally, like, he got it. Like,
He doing a little coaching out there, right?
yeah, he doing a little coaching,
Yeah.
but like high school-wise, somebody get him, they got to steal. Like, I've been trying to tell him, like, listen, I'm getting ready to retire, man. You can have it. Like, I want to leave it in good hands.
Yeah.
Like I told Coach Smith, if I leave, this need to be your OC, man.
What about Big Baby? Lawrence, Miami's getting what in Big Baby? He been in the offensive line since started the 9th grade, right?
Yeah.
But they getting what with Big Baby?
You gonna get a guy that's gonna come in. He gonna learn the playbook. Gonna be smart enough to move down the line, but of course, he's not gonna play tackle on the next level. He either gonna play guard or center.
Because of size.
Yeah.
Right?
So again, I get them 6'3" guys. I don't get that 6'6" guy. So, but he gonna finish blocks though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he got that attitude that I don't want to just block you. I want to embarrass you a little bit. You know what I mean? That's kind of Coach Chalk do a good job with our guys.
Yeah.
Making sure they get that mentality. Like most of our guys, if you watch highlight films of our old linemen, they trying to embarrass you. Like they don't want to just block you.
Right.
You know, they take pride in making sure, like, Coach, you saw the pancake? So,
And the last one, his brother, Lawrence, another Miami commit. How good is Seymour going to be?
Lamar?
Yeah, Lamar. Lamar's what, a sophomore?
He's a sophomore. I mean,
it's crazy, man. Lamar's sophomore, man.
The sky gonna be the limit for Lamar. He
Yeah.
just gotta keep working. Like he can't get complacent. You know, sometimes you get a kid get offered so early
Yeah.
that they like they feel like they already arrived. I hate when they give guys offers as freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, because first of all, it don't make
I'm like, bro, he got 3 more years, bro. Like, come on,
first
dude.
of all, yeah, you don't even know you're
you
going to be there as a coach,
Yeah,
right?
you don't even know this body type gonna turn up like you know what I
Right.
mean? He might not gain 2 more pounds since he come here.
Right.
You talking about he going to UM? Come on, bro. You gotta let's be real about it. But I mean, those guys doing their due diligence, so they offer the kid off potential, and I get it. But a lot of these young kids gotta also realize too, getting that offer that early, it's not promised. Like you know what I mean? Like that's just really I call it an STD.
Why?
It's just something to do. I mean, that's the reality of it. Like, yeah, you offer him. It's just something to do right now. You know, he can't commit, so just give him the STD.
That's something to do.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the reality of it. I mean, college coaches might look at me and be bad for saying it, but I tell them the truth.
I know, man. Kids,
that's the truth.
Kids have 20 offers, 30 offers, right? What's the most letters of intent you ever saw a kid get to sign? Like they in front of, I could sign Auburn, I could sign. They don't really get a committable, like they don't really all get 20 committable offers usually. You know what I'm saying? Usually like they send, I seen Trevante Valentine had 30 offers.
Right.
When it was time to sign, he had 2.
Right.
That he could sign.
Yeah, that's it.
LSU, Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's it. There was nobody else there for him to sign to. The 30, I don't know what that was about.
I mean, I've seen kids coming up with bags and stuff early in the recruiting process.
Uh-huh.
But then, you know, as the year goes on, they start getting commits from other guys. Because, you know, South Florida, we one of the last states to play our state championship game. Like
really?
Yeah, like everybody else normally be already played. Like this year was a little different, you know, with the whole pandemic stuff. But normally, we probably like one of the last 2 states to play our state title.
Yeah.
So a lot of our kids don't want to commit until after, you know, the
After the
state
state
championship.
championship. Right.
So a lot of kids, that's what they do. So it's a lot of kids, by the time they do it, team, they be like, oh, coach, you know, we took some offers from other guys, some commitments from other guys.
And they just watch themselves out.
They just watch themselves out.
All right, man, we're going to be back with this top 10. All right, we back, man. Shout out to the member of the week. T gonna put his name down there. Remember AJ, 8 state titles. Been to state 9 times. Did you ever think it was gonna be 9 times? Man? Was that ever?
You know what? I really, like I said, when I first started coaching, I wasn't coaching to win state titles.
Right.
So that just was a plus. That was just a benefit for it. I mean, because I started out in the park. Again, I was just giving back. Because my dad was like, man, you need to give back. You know, so
You started just to give back.
I just started giving back and I just started winning. Like, you know, that was the perk.
Right.
You know, but that never was my goal when I come in. Like, contrary to what everybody believes.
Right.
Even like now, like, this year coming up, my goal wouldn't be, I need to win state. My goal would be, I need to get as many kids in school as I can.
Really?
Yeah, that's gonna be, and the only way you do that is for them to be successful. So it won't be about me.
It's about them.
It's about them, you know. And I think that's the whole reason why you've been successful.
Gotcha. So listen, man. I came up with a top 10 Miami Central list.
All right.
And
This is gonna be interesting.
but I knew, listen, 10 ain't enough, but I made it tough. You know what I'm saying? 10 ain't enough. So I'm going to tell you my top 10, and you just tell me what you think, and we'll talk about who got left off and why, whatever. So, number one, Dalvin, you can't even say that's obvious, and it's Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Dalvin Cook. Okay. I got number 2, Charles Gaines.
CJ.
CJ. Number 3, John Miller, offensive lineman in the league, right?
Yeah, everybody don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Big Boosie.
Yeah. Who you play for?
Right now, yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
With Teddy.
Okay. And number 4, Keir Thomas. Wreck people offenses all the time.
Yeah, they're gonna get a good dose of him this year if you want to stay.
Right. Number 5, Rakeem Cato.
Okay.
I got number 6, Tommy Schuler.
Yeah.
And then number 7, Devontae Freeman. And when I was doing this, I'm thinking like, man, Devontae Freeman way out here, number 7. Man, we ain't got the year, we ain't got none of these people yet.
I know, right? that's.
Number 8, a lot of y'all not gonna know. Nose guard, center, used to wreck things at Central. You know what I'm saying? Tell people about Diaz, man.
All right, so Junior Diaz was a kid that came to us. He had a brother, and Junior could play O-line and D-line. But whatever we needed to play, like he was a center for us. What you talking about? If for you guys that coach football, if you ever get a center that can block back on the 3 technique and take the 3 technique upfield, you're cooking with grease. That's a kid that can block back on the 3 technique and take the 3 technique upfield. So he created a whole nother run lane that was just unheard of. And then when we needed to play on defense, we needed to stop your run. We put him on defense.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Right.
So number 9, Anthony Jones, and number 10, Joe Yerby. I know people gonna be like, man, Joe was better than Ant. Listen, in my mind, I'm just thinking that Joe and Dalvin did it together.
Right.
Ant came back, and you still ran the Wildcat
Right.
sometime,
Right.
and it was Ant.
Yeah, it was just him and Sam Miller.
Right, yeah. It was Ant, and we saw what Ant did to University of Miami at FIU.
Yeah.
He just came in behind some huge names at Central,
Right.
and I think it was kind of overshadowed. But Ant is the cousin, uncle,
He's the uncle of Dalvin Cook.
uncle of Dalvin Cook.
Actually.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So that's the top 10, man. Dalvin, Charles, John, Keir, Rakeem Cato, Tommy, Devontae Freeman, Roy Diaz, Anthony Jones, and Joe Yerby.
Right.
Sound like a recent list, right?
Top 10.
Top 10
top 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
For the last 10 years.
Because if we start going back
last
past 10
10
years, then it'd be top 100, and nobody ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
The last 10 years.
Right, last 10 years.
So that's why like guys like Jeffrey Goffrey didn't make the cut because he was in the 11, 12 years. So
Right. So
we just did the top 10.
So name some people I left off. Right off top, Jamel Cook.
Right.
Jamel Cook, I thought, as an 8th grader, he ran back an interception, first high school football game for a touchdown. I thought Jamel Cook was a pro. Unfortunate situations happened, went to USC, went to South Carolina. I'm not sure where he's at right now. But there's a lot of people couldn't make the list.
Devontae Phillips.
Devontae Phillips is another one. Vontae with the Florida State. He was another one, man, y'all can put out there on offense and defense at any time. Donaldson, Avon Donaldson. No Trevor Darling on the list.
No Donovan Thompson.
No Donovan Thompson. No James Cook.
Yeah.
But it's tough. When you do a list like this, man, you can hand this to 10 different people, man. They probably come up with 10 different lists.
Yeah, because you still got Amari Daniels ain't make the list. It's deep.
James Cook.
You know what I mean? Like you can go.
Right.
We can name guys forever. You know what I
Right.
mean? But when you just talk about those central guys,
Right.
that and I mean, and most of these guys on this list, they did stuff. They can take over a game.
Right. That was the criteria. Because you got to go with the criteria.
Right.
Or it's going to, or you're going to be up there forever trying to figure out, well, he was good at this, he was good at that. So this is what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to do this with a lot of the high schools, and I'll take a beating across South Florida about these lists.
But never narrow the years down. Because you start saying, just give me your best top 10, well, you're gonna go crazy. The city gonna be on fire.
Right. And that's a benefit that we have. This show is called Caneville, and in South Florida, I try to tell kids, listen, every coach that goes, they say, listen, maybe Randy Shannon was a great coach, but he was a good recruiter. Right. Maybe Al Golden wasn't a good coach, but he was a good recruiter. And I tell them, listen, people, they're not great recruiters. Like, they're recruiting. They're at the end of the rainbow where the pot of gold is, which is South Florida.
Right.
I said, if you lived in a strip club, you eventually become a pimp. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And that's what you're looking at. These lists like this, these things like this. The talent level down here is it's so huge that Duke Johnson saying, I'm not leaving my mama, you got to go to Miami.
Right.
Leonard Taylor say, I ain't leaving my mama, you got to go to Miami. And I'm sure you've seen plenty of kids like that. South Florida default kid is Duke Johnson. It's Leonard Taylor.
Right.
Oklahoma default kid is probably winning spelling bees or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
So Miami has iron sharpening iron, and the talent level is so it's so big down here that and it's a benefit. It's something we're privileged to having, and I try to get it across to kids for them to understand that. You know what I'm saying? That it's a privilege to be able to go against the best players in youth football, best players in high school, best players. Then you get to college, you're like, man, these dudes slow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, because you've went against the best.
You've been going against them since you were 6.
Yeah.
So you know what it takes.
Right. I took a long way to explain that, but I'm not always great with the words. So listen, man. AJ, 8 state titles. We're gonna get some more guys in here, man, because it's time to start shedding light on the accolades of our coaches and start calling them what they are, which is brilliant. And that's the only thing. They coming running through Florida kicking your coach's ass. So I mean, right. So we're gonna have to call it something. So listen, man, appreciate you coming, bro.
All right.
Anytime, man. We got a lot more stuff we could talk about. Man.
I know, man. I can talk football all day, man. It's like this home for me. I'm like, yeah, this right at home.
Man, listen, we could. There's plenty things we can talk about, but man, we gonna have you back on here, all right?
All right, cool,
and
man.
y'all stay locked in with us, man.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking days, and that's what?